People, deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. And welcome to my first Champions League live watch along, people. FC Porto versus Juventus. It's the Champions League. I actually apologize to everyone because something was telling me stream for the PSG versus Barcelona game. That's the one I wanted to do. I was just too tired, man. And it was a wild game. It was a great game. You saw what Kylian Mbappe and the rest of it, and the rest of the players did on the football field and the rest of the other talking points and whatnot. They've been fantastic to share that game with you. Now, I thought, you know what, it's not going to be as good as yesterday, but I promise is a promise. I said I would do more sort of evening streams, and now we're here, and it's nice to kind of enjoy football, enjoy this watch along as much as I can from a neutral point of view, in that, this has no bearing on Arsenal. I haven't seen the lineups yet, but I'm sure we'll get into it and we'll see what happens in that regards. Can't lie, I did want to watch Seville versus Borussia Dortmund, but something was telling me this is the game to watch. So we'll see what happens. Big up, apologies, everybody locked in. Please make sure you hit the like button. River said, whiskey ready for the evening, DG. You earned it, man. If you go to work, you pay your bills, you abide by the law. Who says you can't have a decent glass now and again? So enjoy that, man. Take one for me as well, my guy. Big up yourselves. Big up everybody locked in. Cam, I appreciate the praise, man. Now, that's what I call a thumbnail, DG. I'm trying, man. Nowhere near where I want to be, but I'm trying, man. I'm trying a little thing, and yeah, man, it's appreciative that you are applauding the little bit of work rate here and there and everywhere. Now, please make sure you're hitting the like button. I apologize for being 20 minutes late, people. Do you want the honest answer, or do you want to lie? The honest answer was, I was cooking food and it overran. That's the honest bit of it, people. That's it, really and truly. I know the work rate's insane, but I do have to eat, and it was chicken wings and whatnot. So there's no way I'm trying to burn that. You know me, I know how to make chicken wings. But yeah, people, it's been a crazy season in terms of many domestic leagues. It's been a crazy season in terms of the Champions League. You've seen Barcelona get rubbed out yesterday. You've just seen crazy things. So it's very difficult to pick a sort of favorite for it, people. So we'll have to see what happens today, man. But yeah, please make sure you're hitting the like button. Let me see if I can find the actual lineups, people. Let me do the same process I normally do for Arsenal and go on Juventus's website, people. Twitter handle, better yet. And they ain't put it. Maybe, do you know what? Maybe I'm late. I'm that late. They've put up several tweets. What have you said? Kickoff's 8 o'clock. It's all calm. City versus Everton's going to be a game. Yeah, trust, man. It's apologies that I can't even watch that, man. I'm apologizing to myself. You can't watch everything. Catch it on the rebound, man. Hopefully, Gundogan can do a thing for me in terms of the fantasy league and whatnot. But it is what it is in that regards. If I quickly switch over really quickly, people, and show you lot the lineup quickly, because I'm sure you will want to see it. Hope you all can see it. Odin, shout out to you, but I'm going to have to remove your comment. Former Arsenal player Szczesny in goal. Danilo, former Manchester City players in the squad. Wonder Kid, Dutch player, is in the team with the experienced Cellini. You've got the Brazilian fullback Alexandro, Chiesa. Bentancur, for me, people, Bentancur is a quality player, man. I think, for me, he's already one of the best midfielders in the world, but I do think as he develops, his name is going to command a bit more clout. I don't think there's anything he can't do in midfield, the Uruguayan. I really like him. Obviously, they've got Rabiot, and there's a bit of a resurgence from him. They've got McKennie, who's been somewhat of a revelation since initially joining them on loan. Kulusevski, for me, one of the best young players in the world, very talented young player. It's a shame that, Arsenal couldn't get involved, even though apparently Arsene Wenger wanted him when he was like 16, much like everybody else. He's a good player, and I've saved the best till last, with all respect, to the other players. Cristiano Ronaldo needs no introduction, people. So yeah, man, we've got the ex-Arsenal player Szczesny there. It is what it is. Let's see what we can do, man. Yeah, obviously, with all due respect to Porto, it's without a doubt that Juventus probably are the favourites for this tie. They're the bigger team in regards of the statures right now of the two teams, in regards to the expectation of the two teams. Obviously, they've got Cristiano Ronaldo, which makes it a double whammy. But the benefit is football isn't won on paper. You have to go out there and earn the right, and it's going to be an interesting one. For Juventus, if I was them, if I was their coach, Perla, I'd be looking to try and make sure I can get some away goals here. And to be fair, those of you who have been watching Juventus, they haven't been elite of sorts this season by their own standards. You've obviously got Porto's lineup here, people. Marchese, Forgive me for mispronunciation. You know, there's a lot of names I'm going to butcher there. So I'm just going to leave the lineup up there for you lot, people. But in terms of people I'm looking for, he's a FM legend. You know, he's a decent forward and he'll present problems if they give a threat. And, you know, I don't know, man. Somebody's telling me slap a tenner on Porto, you know, just for the sake of it, because, you know, I don't gamble big stacks anymore. I just have a feeling Porto might do something today. It's been a crazy year, start to 2021. Why not, man? You know, there's every reason for Juventus to win. So, you know, probably see how it goes differently. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. We're that closer to kickoff. How close are we to kickoff? You know, we're 4 minutes until kickoff. I don't know how you lot are set up, but in front of me, I've got BT Sport and Juventus and Porto are lining up, people. I'm sure you've all got your match day snacks and things like that. My snack of choice is Twizzlers, because I don't think they make too much noise. Saying that, you can probably hear all that rustling, and I apologize, people. I'm trying to make this an easy process for you guys, but boy, it's not proving such. Like, I'm trying to act. What's the right word? Politically true. All right, done it. Apologies, people. We're good to go. So yeah, like I said, man, I think Juventus will probably be the favourites. In fact, not probably. They probably are the favourites. I do think Juventus will win. I just fancy Porto to do something dodgy today, people. I think Porto will be onto something today. I really think they will. And to be fair, if they win, if Porto can do a sort of performance, then it could be bad for Arsenal, because if I'm Benfica's players watching this game on the eve of their own Europa League clash against Arsenal, and our rivals, our fellow Portuguese side, do dirt in Europe, that's going to motivate us to kind of do better 24 hours from now. So we're going to have to see, man. A man said, Watchalong, I never knew this. Aye, we're here, man. We're here. Man said, is kickoff at 8 p.m.? Yes, it is. So we are over here in the UK. We're you were 3 minutes away from kickoff, man. You see Henry trending because apparently Thierry Henry is closer to becoming the Bournemouth. Something's in my eye. Oh, God. Apologies, people. As I was saying before, something just ran up in my eye. Apparently Thierry Henry is ever closer to becoming Porto, man said Porto. I'm looking at the Porto screen. FC Bournemouth manager. And we've heard Vieira link with them. It's now Thierry Henry. Obviously, Jack Wilshere's there as well. They're getting the gang together, really, of ex-Arsenal players or people that have been involved. Like you said, you see Thierry Henry trending, so we might as well click it and see what it is. You know, I know we're about to start the Champions League, people, and it's really bad. But as you lot can see, Thierry Henry set to be named new Bournemouth manager. Now, for me, Thierry Henry's an elite gaffer, but one problem is how he handles players, and you know he's gonna have to be nice to people. The Champions League teams are out of here, but as you can see quickly, people, really and quickly, Thierry Henry is the front runner to become FC Bournemouth new boss. Mirror Sport understands that the Cherries board are recommending to owner Russian businessman Maximin Dermin that the 43-year-old Arsenal legend succeeds Jason Tindall, who was sacked 2 weeks ago. Apparently, the owner's choice is between Thierry Henry and David Wagner. Personally, I'd lean towards David Wagner. Crucially, he's more experienced. You know, he's been with Norwich and done good things there. You know, he's got a wealth of experience, and obviously he's been around Jurgen Klopp and those sort of things there. As much as I love Thierry Henry as a player, as a manager, he looks a bit shaky. And Bournemouth, I'm sure, first and foremost, they want to get out of the Championship. They want to get out of the Championship. But before all of that, you need stability. And I think David Wagner's experience with Henry is the braver choice, it's the bolder choice, and fortune does favour the brave same way. And I do back my gaffer Thierry Henry, you know, but if I was sixth in the Championship as they are and trying to get promoted, I would probably think David Wagner, who's been around the block a bit more than Thierry Henry. I do think experience is overstated, but you cannot overrate it. And that's where I would probably go toward David Wagner. But of course, I hope Thierry Henry gets the job. Obviously, to see a former Arsenal legend manage the team and a former Arsenal fan favourite in Jack Wilshere play for the team, it could be lit, people. It could be lit. As you can see, there's a bunch of former players that were allegedly on the FC Bournemouth shortlist. You know, John Terry, as you can see, former Arsenal man as well, Patrick Vieira, and all of those sort of things. So it is what it is in that regards, people. Good luck to Thierry Henry if he does get the job. But, you know, if I was Bournemouth, you know, based on what he was doing at Monaco, based on all them clips that come out at, in his time in MLS and things like that, It could go well, but boy, you know, history sometimes repeats itself, and it's like Omar's saying they're taking a big risk, but fortune favors the brave, Omar. So we'll have to see. Apologies for that, though, people. It's time to switch back onto Champions League mode. FC Porto versus Juventus. You know, first Champions League live stream. If you told me I was going to do YouTube a few years ago and the first live stream I did in Champions League wouldn't be Arsenal, I'd look at you a bit funny. But here we are, 45 seconds into the game. FC Porto versus Juventus. Juventus away, the away side. Apologies in the first leg of this tie, people. And you can never rule out anybody. You know, Porto have got to this stage for a reason. You know, you can't. Oh! Juventus are resting about Chesney. People, 1 minute and 9 seconds into the game. Chesney, clanger from Chesney, people. Nah, Chesney dwelling in possession. Porto has just pressed him and he's made a mistake. And it's, you know, if he's been watching Alisson in recent weeks, Jordan Pickford historically, you know, keepers have been moving mad. It's a simple back pass. He takes a first touch. He's dwelling on the ball. He gets it back from his do you know what? Chesney's in trouble. It's not really Chesney's fault, you know. It's a mixture. I'm doing Chesney a bit bad. You know, the emotions caught me. It's a poor back pass. Please don't be Bentancur. Please don't be Bent. And it's the guy I was gassing up before the game. It's a poor pass from Bentancur. Really, Chesney's not switch on, but it's a poor pass from Bentancur. You're making me really look deluded. Hey, that is, people, that's what they call a hospital pass. Because on Sunday League, that puts people in hospital. That gets a clampers. You know, Karius, Alisson, bare keepers have been moving shaky. As much as I hate John Terry, he'd be my pick for Bournemouth. I'd love to know why, Cam. But yeah, man, dead that. Wait and see Cristiano Ronaldo turn up today just after Messi's Barca capitulation. To be fair, Messi scored. But anyways, 2 minutes in, Porto 1, Juventus 0. What did I say? You can't start bookie in the air, people, about Porto today. Obviously, that was fortune. Juventus are the architects of their own mistake there. You get what I'm saying? The only thing I'll say to Juventus is it's happened now. There's 80-odd minutes left. Fix up. Because at the same time, the one thing I'd be angry about is the obvious from Pirlo. But I feel if Juventus walk away from here without an away goal, it's appalling. And I don't like the away goals rule for what it's worth, people. You know, I'm not gonna lie. It's my best friend if Arsenal take advantage of it. I hate it, and you know, we'll do the Martin Luther King thing, trying to get rid of it if it goes against us, really. But you've got to exploit that. It sounds stupid, but goals count for double if you play at away pitch. So literally, that's what it is. And you could potentially put this tie to bed. You scored, well, it's not anymore, but they scored two goals. Porto have to go to their place and get 4 in theory. You know, you can still, like I said, there's a lot of football to be played, but it's going to be an exciting one, man. And hopefully it follows, obviously, with all due respect to both sides. It ain't really as exciting on paper as Juventus PSG, but hopefully it can provide its own little magic. 3 minutes and 31 seconds into the game, people, and Porto on this thing, to be fair with you. Porto are down for this. That's what, like I tell you all the time, play the occasion, not the team. And it's a lovely dink over the, Chesney done well to come off his line, but is the opportunity dead? And Porto on this. Has Jose Mourinho 2002 early 2000s motivational speeches and them Porto sides there been inspiring these boys, because they're on this right now. They're on this. What have you said? Juventus got firepower on the bench. Bernardeschi and Dybala are good players, but Dybala's a bad boy, but I don't know if Pirlo rates him like that. But like you said, they've got power on the bench, and there's a lot of football to be played, not just over the 2 legs, but in this game, it's only been 4 minutes and 12 seconds, people. Saying that, Juventus are under attack down this right-hand side, people, and they're looking dangerous. I can't lie to you. Chiesa, dispossessed. Danilo, Bentancur, Chiesa, cheeky little nutmeg, dispossessed, earned the cheeky little foul. I think Porto will win the foul there. I think that's Octavio. Done his little thing there. Shady back pass, man. I done Chesney dirty. I can't lie, I done Chesney dirty. He was messing about as well, but it's all Bentancur. It's all Bentancur, in my opinion. You can't doubt him. Bro, Bentancur did me dirty, you know. He let me sit here at the start of this live stream and say, yo, Bentancur, I think he's one of the best midfielders in the world. I think he's got potential, this, that, and the third. And you saw the Mazzoline. You know, Porto have started strong, though. 5 minutes into the game, people, and they've started off strong. For Juventus, they appear shell-shocked. They just got to calm down, wake up, and assess the situation. And I'm not being funny, but with all due respect to the Porto players, a lot of these players, forget Cristiano Ronaldo, these players have been around the block. You know, if you ain't played for your country at the highest level, you've played for Juventus for a significant period of time. If you ain't done that, you've been at other clubs where you've, you know, challenged for things and been in environments and all of these sort of things. So, you know, I always think players should solve things out themselves. I don't think Pirlo needs to tell you what's going on here. You know, and it's a bit like Arsenal manager Arteta in that, you know, I always say you can do all the tactics you want, all the analysis all week focusing on Porto, but you can't account for things like that. You can't account for Bentancur and Szczesny, mainly just Bentancur messing about. Like Ed Milson said, you know, he's moving like a Mustafi/Phil Jones hybrid. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Twitch gang, big up yourselves as usual, people. I appreciate you lot each and every time. We're at 28 likes, people. There's 37 of you locked in. Please make sure you're hitting that like button. Juventus are on the counter-attack with McKennie, people. McKennie's tried to... It looked like he tried the right thing, but he's really just... It's a poor execution. He tried to keep it going. And Porto can counter-attack here, people. So over here on the right-hand side... And the thing is, that's the Porto is like... It's like Porto, to a degree, are lacking self-belief now on the counter, man. It's like they're still looking at Juventus like these are some of the best players in the world. This is one of the best teams in the world. Things that are true. But once again, you've got to play the occasion. You know, Pepe's there as well. I'm sure Pepe's telling them about it. And it'll be an interesting one. Obviously, Pepe and Ronaldo, they go way back at club and country. It'd be interesting to see centre-half versus central striker. It'd be interesting to see what happens in the game when eventually them two encounter each other. Bentancur receives it from Szczesny. Make sure he fixes up this time. Rabiot. Bit disappointed not to see Aaron Ramsey, but I can't complain. This is a tough midfield to get into, people. So really and truly, can you blame anyone? Chiellini advances with the ball. Finds his centre-half teammate in Deluded. Deluded sent someone shop. And it's a lovely pass from Deluded. It's been cut out. Oh, no. Sancho's kept it alive. Good little play from Deluded, man. I know defending's first and foremost priority, definitely being in Italy, but fantastic touch. I'm not going to lie. I do think Porto will concede before the end of this first half, people. Because it looks like both teams are beginning to settle. And it's the early sort of pressure I was seeing from Porto. It's only been 7 minutes and 45 seconds, but it looks like they're like us. They're just sitting there thinking, wow, it's Juventus versus Porto. They need to just believe for 90 minutes that they're playing a normal team. Man said fits our profile. To be fair, I love Bentancur, man. Love Bentancur. Absolute baller. Regardless of that mistake. Mistakes happen, man. It is what it is. Chiesa's fouled and Juventus have a free kick, people. In a good position still. And for those of you who care about certain things, people, you know, Buendia has scored, people. Norwich are winning 2-0 against Coventry. For those of you that are on Buendia watch and like to watch these players with the hope that your team, Arsenal, will move for them at the end of the season. What has Hamsik said? Of course, games just began, but on paper, Juventus expected to beat Porto and Porto already leading, same as Arsenal versus Benfica. On paper, it's favouring Arsenal, but let's not get that over our head. So, yeah, man, you know, can't take away anything you said. We can't get ahead of ourselves. Again, there's a lot of football to be played both in this game and in the second leg. And it looks like the game is settling, people. 8 minutes and 53 seconds in. Szczesny, long ball forward from Szczesny with his left peg, is kept alive by Alessandro into the path of Cristiano Ronaldo. First time I've probably said his name, people, in this, where the game's all about him. I put him in the thumbnail. He's the ticket seller in games like this. Big up Mbemba, boy. Former Newcastle player Mbemba. Is that Porto? Is that you? Champions League and that. Shout out to you. I see you shining, eh? See you shining. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. 37 likes, 42 of you viewing. Come on, man. Let's get that to 40 likes, please. Long ball forward from Porto, people. Met by Chiellini. Juventus tried to mount a counter-attack, but it's cut out very well from Porto. That's one thing they have done very well early on. Just made little smart fouls and conceded fouls where they needed to, people, just to stop Juventus's flow and stop Juventus pouring forward. Man saying he's a polished Ganduzi. You talking about Bentancur or Rabiot? Has to be Rabiot, innit? Curly hair use. Yeah, to a degree, man. I see where you get that. Kulusevski and Rabiot actually inadvertently ran into each other and they both got corralled, people. Kulusevski came the worse off, if anything. Plays back over here with Porto, people. Porto 1, Juventus 0. For those of you just tuning in, people. 10 minutes and 16 seconds in. Pepe, long ball forward from Pepe with his left peg. Doesn't get over the head of De Ligt and is back in possession with Juventus. I think De Ligt started very well, man. He's got good mentality, man. You can see he wants the ball. He wants to make the difference. He wants to try and put things right for Juventus, even though he really had nothing to do with it. And one concern for when people I speak to about Pirlo is that the games that they've had, they make it harder than it needs to be. It's too much sitting on the edge of seats and nervy and things. And this has probably started off in the same way. Out to the left-hand side with Cristiano Ronaldo, who finds Kulusevski, McKennie dispossessed, and Porto can counter-attack. Porto have been dispossessed. Porto got to have a better outball when they do get possession, man. You got to have an outball. What you don't want it to become is Juventus for 80 minutes, high line, plenty of the ball with De Ligt and his centre-half partner, and just pressure and pressure and pressure, because you will be tough to break down. You will get your applauds. But when legs begin to tire, it's very difficult to do that. And you can't afford to really rely on that when you're playing against Cristiano Ronaldo. Sometimes Ronaldo ain't been about in 89 minutes of a game. 90th minute, you see why he's Cristiano Ronaldo. Like AM said, you cannot and you should not doubt Cristiano Ronaldo, or doubt him at your own peril. Pepe's mounting a counter-attack for Porto. And to be fair with you, Juventus are starting to press better. There isn't much space, man. What have you said? Hamshik has said, who would you choose between Dozy and Torreira? Guendouzi, personally, just because Torreira's heart's not in this thing. I haven't had to question Guendouzi's heart and commitment when he's been in an Arsenal shirt. To be fair, I haven't with Torreira. But all you hear coming out of Arsenal is that he hasn't settled for whatever reason in England. So it don't matter how good you are, I need men that are committed. If you care about the other last 16 leg, Suso, former Liverpool man, has scored for Seville against Borussia Dortmund. So Borussia Dortmund 0, Seville 1, Seville 1, Borussia Dortmund 0. Just like in this game, people, where it's Porto versus Juventus, and Porto are leading 1-0 or a goal to 0. 12 minutes and 30 seconds in, and they've earned themselves a free kick in a dangerous area, people. And I don't know too much about Porto and their aerial threats, but it's a decent position. It's taken short, though, and they've tried to shoot. That was a terrible execution. What was all that about? The one saving grace is it's earned a corner, but that was dead. I know it's Champions League, but don't see your name in lights, man, Sergio, man. What was all that about? I don't know what going for Arthur, man. He needs to learn. You know what I've seen? He's still, even at Juventus, he's still a baller, but it's like he needs to take his game to the next level. I can see why you're not playing that. It's not that you don't fit in. You don't necessarily stand out. Another innovative piece of set piece inventory taken by Porto, and it doesn't come off. It's over here. Chancellor and Bemba's tried to keep it alive. It hasn't banged, people. Make sure you're hitting those like buttons, people. Please make sure you're hitting those like buttons. 43 likes, 42 of you watching. So, yeah, I appreciate that, people. People are not being lazy anymore. Szczesny is still again playing out from the back, and De Ligt just scoops it like an ice cream cone forward. I must admit, against bigger teams, it will get long for Juventus if they do this. Kulusevski. What a baller Kulusevski is, people. I apologize, but these Twizzlers are amazing, people. Kulusevski, what a player, man. So annoyed Juventus got him. That's an Arsenal, man. Danilo's got a throw-in to take here. 14 minutes played, people. He goes home to his centre-half and fellow defensive unit colleague, Matteo De Ligt. De Ligt has played it to Bonucci. Bro, same. Listen, that's what you shouldn't be able to do, man. Juventus, they can't afford to do that. You don't want to give yourself too much to do, because if Porto... I can't lie. So I reckon Juventus. Oh, not that it really matters with no fans and whatnot playing at home and away. But you'd imagine if you're Porto and you was to somehow end this 1-0, you're going into the next game in a very good position, people. Because suddenly, if Porto score away from home at the Turin, things are complicated greatly, people. As you know, please make sure you're hitting the like button. Is Aaron Ramsey on the bench? Aaron Ramsey must be on the bench, man. Let me look. Because I would love nothing more than Aaron Ramsey to come off that bench and actually score, people. It'd be amazing. I'm trying to actually find it. So that's Thierry Henry, which has no relevance to us. There he is. Calm. What's Robert said here? 8 hours of football since Porto last conceded in the Champions League. Dark horses in the competition like Ajax was a couple years ago. Why not, man? Why not? You can't rule out anybody. They're there for a reason. And like you said, that they haven't conceded hardly any. That's not by accident. That tells you their manager wants to be rigid and tough and hard to break down. So if Juventus are going to do it, they're going to have to prove what quality players they are, prove us why Cristiano is the best player arguably of all time and the rest of it. Saying that Juventus have a corner in a dangerous position and several aerial threats. They've taken it short though. Bentancur delivers to the back post. Ronaldo keeps it alive, but to be fair, there wasn't much he could work with. And Porto have tried to break. In fact, there's an offside. So that was very poor set piece. The set piece delivery of both teams has been very poor today. I won't lie, man. This Juventus team ain't good enough to go far in the Champions League. It's too reliant on an aging Cristiano Ronaldo. Fair enough. Fair enough, my dude. I can't blame you for that. Must admit, I do think Juventus have a good side, but it's just, I don't know, something's missing, man. I'd be keen to, not that it can physically work out because Barcelona are out, but I'd be keen to see who could go further in the squad in the competition, Barcelona or Juventus. I'd say Juventus because I feel they're a bit better in terms of a squad and whatnot. And it's crazy. Speaking of Barcelona, how much it's an end of an era. We know it's an end of an era, but it's like when they're chasing the game yesterday, people, and I'm watching PK and Busquets come off, I'm thinking, right, like, if this was 10 plus years ago, them two coming off, you'd say someone's throwing in the white towel. And they still haven't, replaced these guys. Real Madrid, Barcelona's signings have been meaty for time, poor signings for a while, and they've been allowed to get away with it because they're Barcelona, because they've got Lionel Messi, and time catches up with everyone. God help them if Messi does leave at the end of the season, because do they even have the financial muscle to flex their elbows and say, cool, at least we can grab an Mbappe, at least we can do something. Nobody can replace Messi, but something's got to happen. Something has to happen, people. Porto 1, Juventus 0, people. With Juventus with it all to do, Danilo's conceded a foul over on this right-hand side. Is it time for Cristiano Ronaldo to leave? What reason does he have to leave, man? If he's comfortable in Italy, if he feels this is a team to be at, it is what it is. Where does he go? What's he got left to prove? He's won several Champions Leagues. He's won the league in all the countries he's been to. Where has he got? France? Messi's going PSG, so unless Mbappe left, probably won't happen. Back to Madrid, to Manchester United. Financially, they could do it, but would it make sense beyond the fact that he would sell a lot of shirts and is still a great player? I don't know. You don't tell me. I can't really see it, man. Where would he go? Anything can happen in football, but where did he go? Man said, but now goes to Arsenal. I would love it, man, but if I really rationalize that, you'd really call me deluded, people. Porto 1, Juventus 0, 18 minutes, 35 seconds into the game, people. You're always on edge. Yeah, I don't even support Juventus, but you're always on an edge when you see them play out from the back. And there was another shaky moment there, but they got out with it. Kulusevski, they've been on to him, double marking him and whatnot, but he's kept it. Ronaldo's lost it. Apologies, Chiesa's lost it. They got the same boots. But Bentancur, my guy, with a lovely driving run. Can you pick out a pass? No, you can't. No, you can't. Help me, bro. Help me to help you. And that was a good move. They need more of that. To be fair, I'd argue that's the energy they need. They probably need Aaron Ramsey. They need a third man run. It looks like no one's running behind for Juventus. Pardon me. Hey, Jake, you're right. MLS, to be fair, yeah, that's it. MLS. But I think it'd be I'm sure he could earn a lot financially and whatnot. But Cristiano Ronaldo going MLS, I think he's still got a lot to offer in the European League to be going there. It's not like he's one washed out 35-year-old and them players there that are just continuing for the sake of it. He's still a very good player. The only thing you can knock him by is he's not the Cristiano Ronaldo that he once was, sort of thing. So where would you go, man? Anyways, Bentancur out here to the left-hand channel, overhit pass. He tried to find Cristiano Ronaldo. I think it's very interesting. Cristiano ain't stayed centrally too tough. He pulls out to this left-hand channel quite a lot so far this game. What's AM team saying? Bare teams need a rebuild. Cut. The market supply. What have you said there? Cause the market supply, everyone's gonna be in some serious, gonna get some serious losers. You're right. Still, there isn't much value, and I think we've got here because of overspending. Like we're here in the market now, where you can get some deals, but it's what you can hustle and it's what you can pay for. Very rarely are people pay worth transfer fees now. And sooner or later, that bubble surely has to pop. It can't continue like that forever. I wish I could, man. I wish I could. Someone's got to send that. Chiellini's tried a pass, and it's quite poor. To be fair, I'm wishing I picked the game I initially want to, man. And I think this is Cristiano Ronaldo. I guess in relation to Ronaldo, Rochi said he wants to finish at the top. He doesn't want no MLS. So as long as you can stay at Juventus or these top teams, then innit? But it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Unless in an imaginary world where he was going to forego a salary, there's only a handful of clubs he can go to. Really? You know, you could say Germany, but Bayern Munich, regardless of how good Ronaldo is, are they going to mash up their structure to bring in Ronaldo? Probably not. You know, PSG, it makes sense. But then again, if you get Messi and you got Mbappe and trying to get Neymar to sign new deals, it'd be elite. But where does everybody play? The wickedest thing, people, is when you keep it, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, Kylian Mbappe, and Neymar, they could all play in the front four easily together. Easily together. You know what? Messi, what's it? Neymar would have to go on the left, or Mbappe probably have to go on the right. There'd be less cutting in. But, you know, I'd go, Szczesny's a poor pass from Szczesny, people. And it's whistled out for a corner by Porto. 22 minutes in, and Juventus need to switch on. Like I said, it's poor playing out from the back. They've been very shaky, people. But as I was saying, you could probably go Cristiano Ronaldo in the middle up front, Messi behind him, Neymar on the left, and Mbappe on the right. You know, Juventus are going to be the architects of their own downfall here. It's a poor kick out from Szczesny. It's been intercepted, and the deflection is taking it off. Szczesny's there. Look, Deluded saying, "What is that?" Szczesny's laughing, and that this speaks volumes. Another corner from Sergio. Szczesny tries to collect. It bounces. Fortunately for him, Rabiot is there to collect. And it looks like Juventus will have a free kick. For a foul or an offside, I'm not actually sure because I cannot hear the commentary. I think a foul on Szczesny, to be fair with you. All right, big up. Whatever the Nicolo brother said, big up to you lot for swiping that real quick. I never saw that nonsense. So big up to you lot. Please make sure you hit the like button, people. Juventus, Deluded. 23 minutes and 27 seconds into the game, people. And it's still Porto 1, Juventus 0, people. It's a bit of a shocker right now. Kulusevski's forward. Chiesa in possession. First time cross from Chiesa. Overhit. It's kept alive, though. McKennie's beat into it by Sergio of Porto. He's been very lively so far. I think good little play under pressure from him. Porto, to be fair, they're playing their way out of pressure very well here. And they've earned a little throw-in, saying that the ball's actually not gone out, people. And Juventus will be in possession. And Juventus, it's not that Porto have been amazing. And it's not that Juventus have been poor. They just need to fix up, man. They just need to fix up. Angry Juventus supporter. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. Big up yourself, Kay. Thank you for tuning in. It means a lot, man. Means a lot. 60 likes, people. Can we push towards 100 now? We're at 54 concurrent viewers. I know not all of you have hit that like button. 24 minutes and 25 seconds in. Porto 1, Juventus 0. And obviously, for those of you that have wondered, of course, tomorrow it's Arsenal versus Benfica. Better yet, Benfica versus Arsenal. You know, there'll be another live watch along where it'll be a lot more serious because it's our livelihood on that. Kulusevski's tried to get going, people, and he's earned a foul. Can you not see how much of a baller Kulusevski is? Man said, "Is the game worth watching?" I am regretting it. I cannot lie, but we're here now. It is what it is. Check the Seville game, more end to end. To be fair, I can't switch it up. I can switch it up because I got my remote, but that'll be doing it dirty. I'd never do that. Let's see quickly. You lot are tempting me, man. You lot are tempting me. What BT channel is it on? I can't even see. In fact, you know what? Let me not watch it. I've got it recorded, so I'll be able to watch it regardless. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. 25 minutes in, Porto 1, Juventus 0. And there isn't too much to speak about. You lot that are watching this, you know it's not the most spectacular of games. The lit in possession, there's almost next to nothing going on. The most exciting part was probably the second minute where the madness happened. Apart from that, nothing to speak about, people. You know, you'd be forgiven for mistaking this for a group stage match, really and truly. Both teams kind of cancelling each other out. Both teams not really threatening. Both teams not really making their mark on it and really getting possession down and things. I think Sergio of Porto's done all right. You know, Juventus had a good chance, but apart from that, it's done, man. What's big man Sam saying? Juventus having a madness so far might come into the game Juventus having a madness so far might come into the game underestimating Porto, even though they have the same amount of European titles. You should never underestimate anybody, especially at the last 16. They're here not on merit. They're here because of what they did. You know, man are saying Sancho looking dangerous. United missed out. Have they? You know, they probably get him a bit cheaper, man. They probably get him a bit cheaper. So why not? Man are saying, I'm watching Everton versus Man City and listening to you for Champions League updates. I shagged myself slightly. I should have very slightly. If I completely forgot there's a Premier League game, which is bad for me, I probably would have done up a watch along for that. It must be on Amazon, I lie. You know, to be fair with you, I might have to do a little cheeky one, people. And can you, I rarely use Amazon on my phone apart from actually, apart from actually buying stuff. But you know, if they have the Amazon Prime feature, I can't like Prime Video. Okay, this might be lit, people. Might have to be cheeky. I swear Everton versus City is on this. Oh, you have to sign. Swear down, you have to sign in and that. I don't know my stuff off by heart. Swear down. Oh, that one there, that movie was short-lived, man. You know, when you think it's a movie, yeah, and it's movie settings, I would pull it on my laptop, but I don't want to overwork any processors and whatnot. I'm only watching this for a potential upset, to be honest, bro. I'm only watching this because it's Champions League. I'll be real. This is dead right now. Could easily do a highlights job, man. Just watch highlights. I can't lie to you. Because Arsenal, don't get it twisted. I'm a football purist and them things there, but I'm very rarely entertained when I watch games of football. Like, shout out to yesterday's game. That was very entertaining. Very rarely the football games live up to the hype. And not that this one's being hyped up. And I knew I should have watched Seville versus Dortmund. Daniel Marlin. Haaland has scored, people. It's 2-1 against Seville. Well, over here with 28 minutes played, people, in 10 seconds, Porto 1, Juventus 0, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Nothing really going on, you know. Saying that, you know, it's a poor kick out from the Porto keeper. His bacon's been saved as it's come to nothing. Oh, and they mistimed the challenge. There was no malice in it. Players gone on. He'd undoubtedly get a yellow for that. And Porto are on the counter. There's not a bodies forward. And, you know, it's just, there's been no quality on this. And this just sums up the game. A lack of quality in the final third. You know, man are saying FIFA and DG in the background is where it's at. Pardon me, I respect that. You know, I just said Haaland scored. Tierney said, I watched this because DG is goated. I appreciate you, my guy. Thank you for that. Cristiano Ronaldo, best player in the world. Fair play. You know, I'm surprised that Juventus are so lax. Nerves must be playing a part. They're notorious for it. Fair play. Do you think they should have scrapped away goals? Yes, because it don't make sense. It don't make sense at all, man. It don't make sense. What sense does it make? Like, goals are counting for 2 goals and all of these sort of things. Why? Because he scored away from ground. Like, it's not. It's dead, really. If you score a goal, it should stand for 1 goal. Not you scored 1 now, but it counts for double and all of this sort of stuff. Obviously, like I said earlier, when Arsenal benefit from it, I'm all for it. When we're against it, I hate it, of course. But it shouldn't be there in the first place. Cellini to the lit. Approaching 15 minutes left of the game, people, as we approach rapidly the 30th minute mark. Apologies, people. You should switch this to Everton versus Man City. To be fair with you, we started, so we have to keep going in it. But I'm tempted, you know. I'm tempted. I'm actually tempted, man, because nothing's going on. Nothing is going on of any significance. And it's jarring me, man. But I don't know why. You see, with my, I don't know what it is, but on Amazon, because obviously you can't see, but there's a monitor here. Whenever I try to watch it on the monitor and obviously like do my thing as I'm working normally, it don't allow me. It starts saying that HPV problem nonsense. I capped. Let me turn that off. Oh, this you just did, man. Can't play on your device. It doesn't meet the. Allow that, man. Just play the thing, man. Allow me, please, man. Yeah, I'm watching Everton, bro. No cap, I'm watching Everton. You know, shout out to Nav Score because right now, obviously, I'm live. I can't react and go and get my my other laptop where it's actually got Amazon on it and things like that. But and I can't get my booklet where my password's written down. People, I'm not one of them man who names their stuff the same password, so you get in trouble. But good old Nav Score, man. Download Nav Score for those of you who ain't got it, man. This has got me. And I guess it's gonna turn into we'll talk about the Champions League, but we'll speak about the Everton game as well, people. Really and truly. Now I'm behind in that regards, but on the Everton game, but we'll see what's happened. So corner from Porto here, people, and it's been cut out by Juventus's Weston McKennie. 15 minutes into the Man City versus Everton game, and it's 0-0, people. For those of you who care, a madness probably happened to Yerry Mina because he's holding something and he's trying to jog something off. Should have really done that game, but you live and you learn, man. Watch, as soon as you do turn it, something will happen. And that's what I'm scared of, man. It is what it is in that regards. Cristiano Ronaldo's done a little shimmy, passed it to Rabiot. Rabiot advances with it, finds his Juventus teammate, Chiesa. Chiesa finds Rabiot, tries to give it back to him, and Porto will cut it out. People really and truly deluded. I'm defo watching the Man City game while listening to DJ. I appreciate that. And I wish I did a watch along for that game, man, because I'm about to watch it in front of me, man. No cap. Man City's in front of me, people, as well as this game here. So we're doing a draw thing. You live and you learn, man. I actually really wish I did a watch along for Man City versus Everton, man, because I don't really want to watch this right now. But it is what it is. You made a bed, so you lie in it, people. Juventus going forward 32 minutes and 45 seconds, apologies. And it's been, the majority of the game, as expected, has been in Porto's half. But it's what you do with possession. You can have the bulk of the ball. If you don't shoot, you don't score. And Juventus haven't been good enough in the final third, and they've given it away again. And Porto will accept this. They'll just go back home to their goalie and play the game and try and manage it. You should be watching the Dortmund game. That was the initial plan. It was going to be Dortmund versus Seville. And I thought this game, but you live and you learn, man. I guess the lesson I can learn is stick to the script, stick to the basics. Don't try and rewrite things, people. If that makes sense. But it is what it is. We've made our bed, so we've got to lie in it. I went through all that effort to make a half decent thumbnail, even though it could be a lot better. So why not, man? Why not? Man City versus Everton is 0-0 for those of you who can. To be fair with you, we should be able to watch both or something. When this one cuts out at half time, that one there should be going, man. What have you said? Hamza has said, do you think Henry will do well if he goes to Bournemouth? Sorry. We spoke about that earlier, and I don't know. I don't really know. It's a massive risk. I do think Juventus have been forced into a change. It looks like Chiellini is coming off, people. I don't know if he's pulled something, injured something, but that man is hard as nails. He isn't going to want to come off for no reason. And they're bringing on the Turkish centre-half, Demiral, and he firmly follows, Kabak and, Sayincu, of these young Turkish centre-halves, leading the way for defensive prospects of the future, people. He's a very decent centre-half as well, to be fair. Probably unlucky he's at Juventus and there's a whole heap of names in front of you because he does deserve to play on a more regular basis. Gigi, away goals were introduced to spare on the bigger teams to not defend after a first leg win. I hear that, but does it necessarily do that? I hear what it was, but the times change now, man. The times change, and very rarely are teams sitting back, or is it even possible to sit back for 180 minutes and things like that? So I think we should get rid of it, man. You can't rule out Juventus. They've got Ronaldo, really. Bentancur in possession, people. And to be fair with you, Porto have remained penned in. They've got men behind the ball. You know, they've got men surrounding the man in possession for Juventus. They've weathered the storm. They ain't really looked like they're going to concede. Not because they've been doing well defensively, but Juventus haven't created anything. And a midfielder like Pirlo, where, you know, creativity dictating the tempo of the game is your middle name. I can't understand why your team's playing like this. And it's the age-old saying, you know, being a good player doesn't always correlate to being a good manager. I'm not saying he isn't. I'm just saying. Just saying, people. Porto 1, Juventus 0. De Ligt has been trying several times to play that pass towards Alexandro, and it's just overcooked on this occasion, people. And Porto will just win that back. One thing Porto have done very well is win the first and second passes, people. Understand? If Benfica or anything like this, then boy, listen, Benfica things tomorrow, man. Let's enjoy the game. Not that you can enjoy. It's not the most enjoyable game of football, I will admit, man. You live and you learn. I definitely won't be talking about this I won't be doing a watch along for the away game. I'll give you that, people. We're gonna stick to the script and keep it basic and go PSG versus Barcelona. Them exciting games there, man. Should have even done Liverpool versus Leipzig, really. 20 minutes into the game, Everton versus Man City, people. Pardon me, that looks a bit more exciting, but it looks like they're struggling. First time I've seen Pickford in time in an Everton shirt. It ain't been there for a while. 61 of you tuned in. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. 36 minutes and 50 seconds into the clash between Porto and Juventus. I must admit, it looked like a high boot there from a Juventus man, but play has still kept going. Alexandro to Rabiot. Rabiot in possession. Finds Danilo. Danilo checks back inside. Finds Bentancur. Demiral, the substitute. Rabiot turns his man expertly. Can he play a progressive pass, though? Because you're going backwards. You're helping them. He's going sideways. Well, technically backwards, but sideways. De Ligt moved over to this left-hand side of the centre-half pairing. Good ball from Chiesa to Alexandro. Alexandro, that's a corner, surely, no? Thought that was. I can imagine that's a corner. Porto lad doesn't reckon it is, though. Do you know what it is? Turkey got some good little players coming around and popping up here and there. I'm not too sure about in an attacking sense, but I'm starting to believe Turkey or people of Turkish descent, when you see they're playing and popping up in defensive positions, you got to take a look at them, man. Shout out to Mislintat because he wanted to sign Suyuncu. Obviously, Suyuncu had a bit of a settling in period. Let's have it right at Leicester, and then he went flying. And obviously, he's been injured, and Fofana's coming. Everyone kind of forgets him, sort of thing, or has forgotten him. You know, Juventus is probably the most exciting thing I've seen them force the Porto keeper to do. He's had to punch from a collecting corner because he weren't able to collect it. You know, considering you got Cristiano Ronaldo and all these talented and big money players on the field, or people that are on expensive salaries, and you're struggling to create, it's quite crazy, man. Hot take, I'd take Haaland over Mbappe, just my opinion. There's nothing wrong with that. My guy Biag, that's his opinion as well. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Haaland's a cyborg of a footballer. You know, I definitely feel he was created in a lab to be a striker because there's no emotion when he scores up front and he just doesn't stop scoring. I'd rather Mbappe because for me, Mbappe can score goals. He's got the sauce. He's my sort of player, not that Haaland hasn't. I'd be happy with either one. You know, two players that I wish were at Arsenal, but there's Eddie and Nketiah at home. Yeah. Juventus have a free kick in a dangerous position, people. If Bentancur can get his delivery right and someone can meet it aerially, Bentancur delivers. Who is that? Who got a head on it? Someone got a head on it, but weren't really any elevation. And Porto just keep doing this. It's just long balls forward. And to be fair with you, it's gone over the head of a Juventus man. Lucky for them, Alexandro was covered. He must have. Jose Defo visited Porto. Defo gave them the inspiration. Defo showed them the games from when he won the Champions League, and it gassed them because they're on this, man. To be fair with you, they're right. You know, if Porto are laughing, in my opinion, and it's theirs to lose if they get out of this not conceding. It'll be a catch-22 because if I was Porto, I'd probably be assuming it stayed like this, I'd be expansive away from home because I think you get that away goal, you put more nerves. I think if you sit back at Juventus's place, they'll pattern it. Cristiano Ronaldo on the right-hand side. A bit of a throwback, man. I ain't really seen you do this since United and early Madrid days. Cristiano Ronaldo. I didn't think that was a foul. My word. He milked that. Ronaldo milked that. I didn't think that was a foul. Nonetheless, he's earned a foul, people. Porto 1, Juventus 0, people. Everton 1. Everton 0, Man City 0. You live and learn. Next time we'll be doing that. Let me actually check the fixture calendar, people, so I can actually see what sort of ones we could do next, people. Let me see the Premier League fixtures first. I did promise, more watch-alongs and these sort of things. I watch hella football. Why not watch it with you? Oh! First big save I've seen the Porto keeper have to make, and it's been 40 minutes into the game. It's Rabiot. To call it acrobatics wouldn't be doing it justice, but he's improvised. He just improvised something. It is an acrobatic sort of effort. And to be fair, maybe the keeper could have just held on to that. I don't know, but it looked like it was going in. Keeper's just palmed it away. Probably the most exciting thing that has happened beyond the early goal. So it looks like something could happen, people. It looks like something can happen. Raw, Fulham played as well. Fulham played Burnley. The draw doesn't help Fulham at all, does it? People, don't forget Deluded podcast this Friday. You know how it's set, people, where we talk about football more from a general point of view. Please make sure you're following me on Clubhouse as well. Deluded Gooner 04. I'm gonna start doing more Clubhouse content as well. If nothing more, follow me on Instagram as well. Again, Deluded Gooner 04. But looking at the fixtures, people, to come. When next is there a big game? 41 minutes, 52 seconds in this game between Porto and Juventus, people. But when next is there a big game in the Premier League? Saturday, Man City versus Southampton. I'll probably live stream, but not a watch along. Arsenal versus City. Obviously, I'll be doing a watch along on Sunday for that. Trying to find the next. Would you say Man City versus West Ham's a big game? Maybe. Leicester versus Arsenal. I'm obviously going to do that. Oh, you got Chelsea United 28th of February. Probably have to do that. Probably do that one as well. Probably do something for that still. See what we can do. So yeah, man. And obviously the Champions League speaks for itself. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. 42 minutes in, people, and this has probably been the worst game I've watched on a live stream. I didn't think I'd ever say that in the Champions League game. I broke my Champions League live watch along V, and it weren't really worth it. Maybe I should have waited for a game that was special or someone special, like they normally say. Oh man, people. But love to everybody who's tuned in, though. I appreciate it, man, that you lot, I'm seeing some of you are saying, you're watching Man City versus Everton or Dortmund, Seville. You're just listening. Man, are saying they're just listening because it's me. I really appreciate that, man. Hamsik has said, Sancho versus Son, who you taking? I'm taking my guy Jadon Sancho personally. Current form, it probably is Son. Saying that, Jadon Sancho's been a bit of a hot boy in recent weeks, really, Porto 1, Juventus 0. Porto gaffer's going mad. I don't know what he's going mad at, but he's going mad at his team for something. That's probably them ones there. The camera's onto you, so you start acting. But anyway, Szczesny in possession, people. Goes long this time, or tries to, and it's been completely miskicked. And it's again invite pressure on. Porto could have a shot here. Oh, Sergio, good little flick from him, but Juventus have got men back. Juventus playing out from the back have gambled unnecessarily, and it's not something you'd imagine a team managed by Pirlo would want. Kulusevski's had to, playing on the right-hand side and being left-footed, has had to tuck in a lot. Maybe they need to go for someone on the right wing who wants to take on their man consistently and move Kulusevski over there. Ronaldo's barely had no service, so he seems to be the one trying to be the service. He's popped up on the left-hand side and tried to deliver a crossing this time. You're the guy who headers, bro. Big up yourself, Wayne. Not my type of match, but I had to come in and leave a like for engagement. I respect that. And it's not my type of game either, man. I don't want you lot thinking Deluded loves these boring games. Haaland with another goal. So Haaland's doing his madness in the champs. He saw Mbappe and he said, I'll raise you one. Porto deal with this corner. Juventus starting to pile on the pressure. But again, pile on the pressure is probably selling it very, very high. Higher than it deserves to be sold, if that makes sense, people. Demiral offside, people. But again, banging on the door a bit, banging on the door. Well, he's not offside. I don't know. Oh, it's gone. The head has just gone out. I don't know. I thought it's very difficult when you can't listen to the commentary. I thought the way he was moving and the way the ref was looking is like he's done something or something's happened. Nonetheless, though, once again, it's 3-1 in the Dortmund game. It's 1-0 here. We're into the 45th minute, people, really and truly. And we're into injury time, really. We're into that last minute. We're into the last minute, people. You know, the good thing is the games are going quick. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I was having thoughts saying, I might as well just lock this off, man. This is dead. I apologize to everyone, but we started this. Cristiano Ronaldo on the left-hand side gets one last chance to run at his man, hits a step over, hits another one, tired. They dispossess him. The Ronaldo of a couple of years ago, that's a goal. This Ronaldo needs to just stick to getting on the end of things and putting the ball into the back of the net. Chiesa's tracked back very well and prevented a counter-attack from Porto. And Pep Guardiola in the Everton versus Man City game is going mad over something. I don't know what he's going mad over, but yeah, he's getting mad over something. John has said, who do you think will win the Champions League and Europa? Champions League, who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows? I'm probably thinking PSG, Poch, tactician. It looks like it might be Mbappe's year, Neymar to come back. We can't be silly. We've got to look at Bayern Munich and not negate them. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have a clue, man. I don't have a clue. Jaden, I'm out here suffering, my bro. But anyways, it's 0-0 at half time. I mean, it's half time now. It's 0-0 in the Everton versus Manchester City game, but it is 1-0 in the Porto versus Juventus game. Pirlo and Pirlo's boys got it all to do, and they're going to need a hell of a halftime team talk to change things. Switching over briefly, people, to Everton versus Man City. What have you lot made of the game? I've got it in front of me. I'm probably a couple of seconds behind because I'm watching it on an app of a stream. My clock says 31 minutes, people. And from what I have seen at the corner of my eye, Man City have had the bulk of possession, but nothing's been created. Is Gundogan? I even had the chance to see who's on the team. If Gundogan's not there, I'm going to be vexed, man. Mahrez down this right-hand side, people. Dancing, checks inside, puts a half-decent cross in. Michael Keane's got a head on that, and I swear that's a corner for Manchester City, people. Can't imagine Pirlo being the hairdryer type, which, boy, when your job's on the line, it gets like that, innit? Sometimes you might just need that. If I was there, to be honest, I don't think it's a hairdryer treatment. I'd sit there and say, listen, you lot are grown men. I'm not being funny, but some of you have won things for your country, played significant times for your country, won things at other clubs, been to the latter stages of competitions, been dealing with pressure all over your careers. I don't need to tell you what's going wrong. You know what's going wrong. The less said, the better. Just go and pattern it in the second half. That's it. You know, you can't insult people. And there's been a goal in the Manchester City game, people. Manchester City 1, Everton 0. It is the golden boy, Phil Foden, to take the lead, people. Wish I had him in my FPL. Southgate, are you watching? You have to call up my man to the Euros if you wasn't already. And here it is, people. You can see it, man. You know, it's good play from Manchester City. They're focused. Mahrez primarily. You know, Everton haven't got it out. Foden's just swung his boot at it, and it does look like it's taking a deflection. It's taken a slight deflection of Seamus Coleman, but who cares? Manchester City 1, Everton 0. And City keep running away with the title, people. Big deflection, but it's still a big goal. Still a big goal. What's the stream called? I'm watching it on NavScore still. Or are you being cheeky and talking about my stream? My stream is the Champions League, but it's out of time now, man. And I'd love to sit and say I got bare things to talk to you with about that game. You watched that game, or I hope you did. What is there for me to say? Big up the Twitch gang. As he said, people, deluded. I'm back again. Foden's a big baller, big baller. You know, it's upsetting that he hasn't come through my team's academy. I'm trying to buy him in Football Manager, man. I offered 121 million and they said no. 1-0, people, and it looks like they're gonna make the vid. Man said, did you see the Tory Lanez vid? You know what? Listen, we all gonna lose our hairline one day, but you see me, when it comes to that day where the hairline's gone, I'm taking it like a real G, man. I'm going bold, or I'm just doing a little sauce. You can't do what Tory Lane's done, man. It looks all mad. You just gotta embrace it. You either gotta go fully in like Townsend and Rooney and these guys, or you gotta do something else, man. You gotta, you know, it probably costs more than I've ever seen, but you can't be getting the cheap treatments. You got to do the proper thing, really. I couldn't afford Gundogan for my dream team. Hopefully, thankfully, sorry, have Foden though. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I'm sour at you right now, man, because I wish I had Foden because I need points. I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm top 10. I can't lie. I think I patterned up. I think I patterned up. But I need to bring Foden in, man. You see me, you see what it is with me, Cam, with this fantasy stuff. You know, the minute a player is having a good game or has two good games, you've got to bring him in. You can't wait and wait and wait. And the minute he starts effing about, like you got to know when to take Calvert Lewin out, when to put him in, when to take Aubameyang out, when to put him in. These sort of things there. Like there's people in my league that ain't had Aubameyang all week, all season. Sorry, they put Aubameyang in and he's grabbed the hat trick and stuff like that. Man, it's crazy. So yeah, man. Looking at my FPL, let me see what numbers did I do for FPL last week, man. Trying to see where I am in the league. I got 70. I got 73 points last week. I'm a mad man. Cresswell got 12. Cancelo got 7. Neto got 6. Bernardo got 18 people. Gundogan got 19. Firmino's team lost, but he grabbed me a little 5. Areola, unfortunately, was on the bench, so the points mean nothing, but I should have had him in on. I did bit still, but there could have been more. There could have been more. And where am I in my private league, which is the one that really matters? I'm 10th, so I'm scheming. Erna, if you're listening to this, you're 14th, rude boy. Pattern of your thing. And where am I in the overall DG league? Because I know I've been mashed up in that one. Let me see. I'm 99th. But there's bare people in that, bare people in that. Well, it is what it is in that regards, people. So yeah, it's been a boring half of Champions League football, as you lot could see. There's been F4 to see. There was F4 to talk about, really and truly. Big up the 52 of you locked in, though, regardless, because you lot's commitment levels are ridiculous. I'm seeing if there's any Arsenal talking points at all, people. At all. Also, please make sure you check out some of my recent content, people. Obviously, I've spoken about Arsenal's transfer news. I've reviewed the Benfica game. I've also done a video with Rabona TV. So please make sure you check that out, people. Please make sure you check that out. It's out now. Obviously, he's a Porto fan. That's the team that he fell in love with. So we've previewed the game. Makes sense. Makes sense. Mm-mm-mm-mm. My word, you see, Bentancur just completely switched off for that, man. He sold Chesney short, and Chesney just clapped it off my man. He won't score an easier goal than that, man. He won't score an easier goal than that. Richarlison. Oh, it's 1-1, people. It's 1-1. 37 minutes into the Everton versus Man City game, and Richarlison has said, yeah, we're not losing that easily. And he's got on the score sheet now. Poor defending from Manchester City. If Richarlison didn't score, someone else is tapping that in still. And one thing I'll give Porto, they're pressing quite well. They've got numbers back. Tactically, they're doing everything asked of them. Oh, it might be going in anyways, if Richarlison, I think Richarlison stole someone's goal there. I think Dejane's done all right there. Oh, it don't matter how it goes in, just that somebody scores. I think it's going in already. Good little ball. In fact, if he doesn't score, Sigurdsson will score. It's a good ball, and that's why, Dejane, excluding his injury, he scores quite high for assists among defenders. Very good signing from Barcelona. He's been for Everton. Everton won, Manchester City won. 38 minutes played in that game, people. What a weird day for football it's been so far. And there's someone out there who's probably betted on an Everton win, a Porto win, certain amount of goals in the Dortmund Seville one, and somehow made like 10 grand. Crazy, isn't it? Josh Hunter, what have you said? Everton have turned the screw. Yeah, they have, man. They seem to be at it a bit more in terms of possession as well, for sure. Wonder what the second half's going to say in this game, people. Bring up everybody locked in. Oh man. And you know one thing I like about Haaland, people? He's so fast, man. What a player Haaland is, man. You know, what a player Haaland is. He was actually eligible. He's actually eligible to play for England. Well, not anymore, but he is because I swear he's technically born here because his dad was a baller as well. Honestly, thought it was handball at first with the bounce off the post, but nah, neither did I, man. I didn't think it was handball. Still, it looked like a goal. It looked good. Think Everton could be the surprise for the Europa League spot. Hope not, man. You know, they're probably, you know, I'm saying I'd probably expect Carlo Ancelotti to think he's disappointed if he don't get Champions League because of the mad season it's been. You're right, Jaden. Very weird day nonetheless, man. But it is what it is, man. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. 85 likes so far. 85 likes so far. Can we get that to 100? There's 54 of you in here, and I know not all of you have hit that like button, people. Obviously, tomorrow as well, I'll be going live with Curtis as well. Curtis Shaw, so make sure you're here, 12 p.m. UK time. Haven't set up all the necessary things yet, but we will be there. Friday, probably review Arsenal's versus, well, obviously review in some capacity Arsenal's Europa League game against Benfica. And then we ain't got time because our attention switches quickly to the game against Manchester City, people. So we'll have to see what happens in that regards. 85 likes. Can we grab that to 100, man? Oh, you're tempting me, man. I've got it recorded, so I'm gonna watch it on the rebound. But you make me want to not do this. You know what? I should have just, you know what? In future, I'm listening to my gut, man. Always listen to your gut, people, because my gut was telling me several things. Pause. Apart from this, so you get what you pay for, man. Should listen to your gut. I just thought, you know what, Cristiano Ronaldo, there's gonna be more attention on this game. You lot care more about this game. Clearly not. Should have stayed with the football purist in me. I should have went with my heart, people. You gotta go with your heart in this life, man. You gotta go with your heart. Or you end up like me watching a boring game that you really want to lock off, but you can't because you've made a commitment, people. Shout out to the Twizzlers. Hey, shout out to the Twizzlers, man. They've been mashing it, putting in the shift, man. I've really been trying to leave them alone, people. But anyone who messes with Twizzlers, you know you can't just have one. And you're right, man. Proper acceleration, proper running technique. And, you know, sometimes when you see a tall guy that is mad quick, it's like sometimes they ain't really got the hand-eye coordination. Haaland does. And this is why I believe he was made in the lab, man. He's like, it's like somebody just made him and put all his stats up to 99, 99, 99, like I used to do in Pro Evo and that. Like, he's not I don't think he's real, man. It's a pity they're gonna have to lose him one day, but he's gonna make them top dollar, man. Top bank they're gonna make on Haaland. Boy. 2 minutes and, well, you know, we'll kick off at 1 minute past 9 over here, really, because we had a minute of extra time. I don't know if you lot have seen this, people, but if you're an Arsenal fan and this has any relevance, I don't know if this has any relevance to you guys, but here we go, man. As you lot can see here, moved from Portugal and now thrown out of Greece, Arsenal's Europa League second tie away at Benfica is now thrown into chaos and must be switched again, with new Greek lockdown announced hours after they confirmed Athens as a new venue. Chaotic. So what? Nobody could have got briefed on that. Fair play. There's still uncertainty over Arsenal's Europa League last 32 versus Benfica. Arsenal's away leg set for the 18th of sets for February the 18th has been moved to Roma. Home leg a week later was initially confirmed for Athens, but now Athens has been sent into full lockdown until the end of February. So yeah. 1 second, I'll get into Suso cheap deflection that they may take the lead. Sorry, people, I gotta watch these highlights, man. I'm dying to watch Dortmund. The hoot. I should have watched this game. What a finish from the hood. Is that Haaland? Look at the cyborg. Look at the cyborg. Look at the play from Jadon Sancho and Haaland. But instead, I wanted to watch this game. I shagged myself. My word. And this is the third goal. What? Royce. 3-on-1. 3-on-1. Haaland. Mad. Safe Juventus. I mean, safe Seville. You gotta get so many goals. Apologies for that, man. I wish I watched that game, man. That game looks like the game to watch. But apologies, people. Back to this, as you look can see, Arsenal's home leg of their last 32 Europa League tie against Benfica has been plunged into further chaos after Greece's Prime Minister announced the full lockdown in Athens on the 28th of this month, people. As you lot know, again, we're now having to reconsider our plans, so again, that throws things up. So we've got less than a week to find a new place, people. Portugal is on the red list, like you see. I don't know where we're going to go past that. It just looks like a lot of waffle here, so I'm not going to read it all out to you, people. But that harms Arsenal, of course, because again, our travel arrangements are already in chaos. We're playing against a Portuguese team in Italy. Was going to play in Greece. Now we don't know where we're playing. Sandwiched in between that, we've got to travel to Manchester City. Man City have to come to our place. Forgive me for that, people. So the travel arrangements on the floor. And now it's on the floor even more because, again, how the hell can you plan to go somewhere if you don't know where you're going to go? Now, I'd imagine as we speak, Arsenal are in talks with authorities, Arsenal, Benfica, UEFA, and countries or, people that make them decisions to get this rectified, people. But it throws things into doubt, man. So, yeah, man, should we just move it to Bucharest in Romania because it seems City's thing is going to be there and they ain't had nothing to say. So it harms Arsenal, but it is what it is. We're just going to have to get on with it, man. Anyways, people, the boys are back out for the second half. We've got 45 minutes. Hopefully, we can see some liveliness. Porto 1, Juventus 0. The second half is going to be here shortly. Haaland is a robot. Trust me, he's not real at all. Proper meta-human. He's not real at all, man. Life ain't fair, Josh. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. And that might even be a benefit because both players ain't played in this. Both sets of players ain't played in the stadium. So it might be something that helps us, but time will tell. We'll have to see, man. In that regards, as you know. Why don't they just play both games at row? I would love to see that, but why not, man? I don't know, man. You'd have to speak to someone who knows about all them logistics and all those sort of things. I don't know. Second half is getting underway shortly, people. Second half is getting underway shortly. Porto have done very well, but there's still 45 long minutes of football to be played, people. 45 long minutes of football to be played. 3 minutes past 9 over here in the UK, people. Let's see what happens. Woo! I wish I listened to River and actually, got the Henny, man. I mean, if Arsenal's like this, it's going to be Henny and Gold settings tomorrow, people, really and truly. We'll have to see. Is there any other news, man? You lot are doing me dirty. You lot used to keep me up to date with all the news going on in football. You lot don't really do that again. But anyways, Porto versus Juventus. Second half has kicked off, people. Porto 1, Juventus 0. Porto are actually on the attack in the... Oh, gosh. Oh, God. Oh, people! No! Juventus. Safe. Marega. 27 seconds or something into the game. They have scored 2 early goals in this game. Juventus are shell-shocked. The plan for Juventus should simply be get 1 goal and deal with it in the home game. Because it's long. And they're doing a job. Juventus probably just spoke about this at half-time, people. It's a lovely break down the right-hand side. But man just flying forward. Marega got it under control. I don't think Szczesny expected him to use his left foot, but it's good reactions from the big man to just get something over, just get something on that. Just get something away, just test the keeper. Should the keeper be doing a bit better? I'm not too sure. It's not like Kylian Mbappe's finish yesterday, but it is in that, it's very close touches, puts it home. Porto 2, Juventus 0, people. Absolute Mazzolini right now. Crazy. Now, I think Ronaldo is saying 1. They need to get 1 back. This is woeful, man. This is the sort of thing that costs managers their job. This is terrible from Juventus, man. What he said at half-time, Jesus Christ. Apologies for that. What he said at half-time. De Ligt's tried a long ball forward. He's probably cooked too much on that. Saying that, Alexandro got it under control. He's pulled it into the box. It's cleared away from Porto. You know, that was two good bits of play from defenders. Where are the attackers? But I think, Bentancur, lovely pass. I think that's a pen ref. No, pen ref has said nothing. And Porto could potentially counter-attack here. Good challenge from Alexandro there. If he doesn't make that, it's a yellow card. And it's out here with Weston McKennie. I think clearly now they need to make subs. You need to get Aaron Ramsey on or Dybala or something like that. You need to, you know. Can you go and get, you might have to take Danilo out and go for Cuadrado if he's on the bench, man. You know, 2 early goals, madness. Crazy, but the time the goals were scored, probably the most exciting thing. Pardon me. It's not all doom and gloom for Juventus, though. I wouldn't go as far as to say they're out yet. Because if they can grab a goal and take it to the second leg, it's anything. Anything is anything. If Juventus score, it changes the whole outlook for Porto. Because Porto, do they sit back and concede 2-1s enough to go through in the second leg? Or are they going to have to go forward? Bro, boy, Sarri's laughing. Juventus are in the mud, broski. Juventus are in the mud. Absolute mud. And they've only got themselves to blame. They've shot themselves in the foot, man. Man said Juventus a disappointment in Europe go together like milk and cookies. Madness. Defo parking now. And they ain't got no reason to be getting excited. You can tell they've got an experienced manager. He's telling them calm down. And they're on the counter-attack again. To be fair with you, the goal came down this right-hand side. It might happen again. Big challenge from McKennie. Big tackle. As someone who loves slide tackling, that's a big tackle. Alexandro's completely bought a free kick there. That's never a free kick, but he's done what he needs to do, man. Fair play. Can't do me that easy, broski. Good try, though. Looks like Messi and Ronaldo are both going home early. To be fair, I wouldn't rule out Ronaldo, man. His thing's different. Like if he scores 1 goal, if they end this game 2-1, it can be different. Ronaldo, I think Messi's got too much of a mountain to climb, really and truly, man. $98 likes, people. We've almost hit the 100 like. Please make sure you hit the like button, people, and take it over to the 100 mark, people. Big up the Twitch gang as well. I appreciate the commitment levels from the Twitch people. There's not many of you, but you're all locked in. And Juventus have a corner, people, and they're banging on the door here and there, but it's not enough. Can't believe I'm seeing Porto 2, Juventus 0. 50 minutes played, people. 5 minutes into the second half, you know. Within 5 minutes of either half, they've conceded. Poor corner from Chiesa. You know, Alexandro almost turned it into a good one and put it into a dangerous area. Porto have been good on the counter-attack, man. They get bodies there. And Juventus have their Brazilian defenders to thank, really. You know, Danilo this time absolutely saved them from a peak counter-attack. When you think of Juventus, you think tactically excellent. You think you leave nothing to chance. This is poor, man. Like, this isn't worse than Sarri's Juventus or Allegri's Juventus. Boy, if Pirlo wasn't Pirlo, he might be a dead man walking in a footballing sense. It's actually peak, man. And I guess this is what you want. This is what we watch the Champions League for excitements and upsets. Some of you have got what you've wanted in that regards. Marega breaking. Porto doing quite well here, man. You know, Sergio going forward for Porto now. Forward. They're just inviting him and inviting. You might as well shoot, brother. Shoots. Forces Szczesny to make a big save. And you could see it, you know. As soon as I said that, he shot. Like, I can't believe this from Juventus. Just saying, yeah, come forward, come forward, come forward, come forward, come forward. Probably, man. Score prediction for Arsenal Benfica. You know, I'm gonna be bullish. 2-0 Arsenal. Obviously, don't make me, you know, please, Arsenal, don't make me look silly, please. It's been a frustrating night for Juventus people. Trying to see on goal.com if there's anything to speak about. Oh, if you for your Man United fans, apparently Cavani and Van der Baker are out of the Real Sociedad game. That's going to be interesting because I want to see if Adnan Januzaj comes back to haunt them people. Really want to see that. 52 minutes and 15 seconds played. Arsenal. Man said Arsenal. I'm so used to Arsenal. Porto 2. Apologies, people. Porto 2. Juventus 0. Cannot believe that, man. Big up DG and hit up the likes, people. You risking Kieran Tierney tomorrow. He's trained. So if fit, why not, man? Play your best players. This is the most crucial time for the football club. Only if proper fit, not 60% fit and all of these sort of things. He needs to be fit. Juventus have been shocking. You can say that again, my guy. Shocking, broski. Shocking. I think the lineup's been dead as well, really. You know, McKennie's not been bad, but I just don't think he's the personnel required for this thing right now. They're saying that they're breaking down the right-hand side. Can they put a decent ball in? I felt it was half decent. It was okay from Danilo. It weren't the worst. He made something happen, though. But ultimately, it's earned the corner, nothing more for Juventus people. I can't be singing dancehall on this. Chiesa is taking the ball in, taking the corner, people. Puts the ball in. Porto have done very well defensively. Deluded gets it back out there to Chiesa. Can he bring it down? No, there's too much on that. And it's another wasted one. Another absolute wasted one. It's not gonna get. You're not gonna get anywhere doing things like this, man. It's not gonna get anywhere doing things like this. $54 minutes and 21 seconds in, people. Juventus 0, Porto 2, and it's looking long for Porto. I mean, for Pirlo and Juventus. You know, too many attacks, even in the group stages, really and truly, man. Anyone that was watching Juventus in the groups, we were saying this, like times they were looking shaky, times they were turning games around. There's one game Dybala changed it for them. Can I really say I'm surprised? This has been the case for them for a lot of domestic and league games. So can I be surprised they're struggling, making it harder than it needs to be, being the architects of an upset, like somebody said, going hand in hand with failure and bottling? I don't know. Saying that, Porto could have conceded, but their keeper was very quick off his line. You know, Ronaldo, bro, I can't believe where the positions I'm seeing Ronaldo. Juventus are not creating a damn thing. So I can't blame Ronaldo. He's on the left, he's on the right, he's dropped deep, he's everywhere but where he can affect the game, man. Hamza, 100%. Hopefully, Monreal can do us a job and come back to haunt Manchester United again. Which you remember when he did it in the FA Cup for us? Bentancur looked fouled there. And by Octavio, the one time I do think he fouled someone, and Juventus will have a free kick. And they haven't, like, they've had a little bit of possession, but they just haven't. That just has been no quality. No quality. Like, Chancellor and Ben will head out, and Porto again will just get rid. They just say, all right, cool, you want to play it in our own half? Okay, cool. You know, Demiral's got the ball. Plays it forward to Deluded, and they're listen, they've scored their goals. They're not presenting much of a threat beyond that to Juventus, and this is why Juventus need a bit more about them. Isaac as well. Hopefully, David Silva. Well, you got David Silva and you got Monreal. You know, hopefully the experienced Spaniards can do a job for us, man. And Anazai as well, like you said, they're the games, you want to stick 2 fingers up at United and say, listen, this is why I'm certified. Can never forget and forgive United fans for saying Adnan Januzaj was better than Gnabry, though. Madman. I'll hold you to that, man. I'll hold you to that, man. Big up all the Dublin ones. But I know how you Irish ones get down. I don't know if I can go to your level. So we'll have to stop very quickly, man. But I'll try my thing, man. I appreciate that, man. Big up yourself and all the other Irish Gooners. Otavio's looks to be coming off the field. He's put a shift in for Porto. I can't lie to you lot, people. He's got around. He's made fouls. He's argued with the ref. And he looks like his job is done. Luis Diaz will be coming on. And again, he looks like the sort of brother to get a goal, really. He just looks like them guys that will score. Porto have done a job. And like I said, you play the occasion, not the team. You stand up to be counted. You do your job. You maximize what you're good at and minimize what you're not. They ain't got better individuals than Juventus. So maximize being a better collective unit, which they're showing right now. Play from Szczesny. And I think Rabiot's done all right. I don't think players for Juventus have played bad. It's just players ain't stood out, man. It's just lackluster. Nobody sees the fate. McKennie's been playing off this left-hand side sort of inverted thing. It's like he should be in midfield being a piano pusher, winning the ball back and them things there. And it become evident this ain't necessarily a game for that. It's a good pass from him, though. Like, I'm not being funny, but you got Arthur, Ramsey, all these guys who are more goal-scoring threats. Like, it just looks like tactically Pirlo's doing nothing, really and truly. But should it be this dead? This is why I'm looking at it from a coaching thing. You've got Kulusevski, you've got Rabiot, you've got Ramsey, you've got Arthur, you've got Bentancur. Should you be dead? You got Dybala, even if you want to play him in the 10. Should you be dead? I agree with you, but should they? But that's why I'm looking at Perla like he's a fantastic player, but you looking a bit shaky, broski. Looking very shaky, very shaky. Let me quickly, because I made a point, I want to make sure it makes sense, but Juventus Champions League. I'm sure in the group stage, when I was watching the group stages, they were making games harder than it needed to be, man. Where's the Champions League? They beat Dynamo Kiev 3-0. 2 of them goals came in the second half, but I'm 100% sure what happened there. Yeah, they needed to turn the game around in the second half to beat Ferencváros, the Portuguese team. So maybe Ferencváros gave Porto the blueprint how to play against this team. Szczesny collects from a long ball. So yeah, and then they played Dynamo Kiev, and again that game there they needed Morata to save them. It weren't really convincing. Lost the Coppa Italia. What other Champions League games were there? Leverkusen, I think they won it convinced. And again, late goals, man. Last 20 odd minutes. Ronaldo and Higuain saved them in that. Against Atletico, Dybala scored on the stroke of halftime. Fair play. But again, they just have, long story short, they just have not been convincing away from home. Even when they beat Leverkusen 3-0, they got 2 late goals as well to flatten the scoreline. They just haven't been convincing in Europe, full stop. So how can I really be surprised that they've had 86% of possession? I'm sure, no doubt, the dominance is with Juventus and a bunch of other statistics. But fundamentally, the only thing that matters and being a goal ahead or scoring a couple, they haven't got it, man. It's an L right now. Absolutely. 74 of you, please make sure you're hitting the like button up, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Doesn't cost a thing. It doesn't cost a thing. 109 likes, people. Let's keep pushing that, man. Big up everybody. Can we get that to 120? 60 odd minutes, half an hour left, people. Porto 2, Juventus 0. Cannot believe that every time I say it to you guys, people really can't. Only got themselves to blame. Demiral on the ball. Delit to his centre-half partner, Danilo. And these are the games there. I'm pretty sure I could watch football. I could play Football Manager and do this with you guys, people, man. God, this is a mazza. I can't see who, but it looks like Juventus are going to be making a change. For who, I don't know, but it looks like there's a change getting ready, and as there should be. And Juventus again, I'll give it to Chiesa. He's trying. The quality hasn't been there, but he's trying, and it just hasn't paid off. It just hasn't paid off. Simple as that. I think it's the coaching. I'm not gonna cap. I'm not gonna cap. I think it's the coaching, man. It has to be the coaching, man, because I can't sit here. Allegri got to the final, it didn't bang. You saw what happened with Sarri. Clearly, it's the coaching, and I'm not watching Juventus week in, week out. Neither was I all the time with Allegri and Sarri, but I did watch them quite frequently, and I do watch a decent amount of Juventus. And like I said, again, Juventus fans will know more than me, but every time I watch them, whether they win, lose, or draw, they make games harder than it needs to be. It's filled with anxiety, and it's questionable tactics and the way personnel are deployed. Like, I don't think McKennie's playing bad today. I just think what he's being asked to do right now is not going to be effective. And the requirements for this game, in hindsight, you should see that it's not there. I do think Pirlo's out of his depth. It's looking like at the moment. He might my opinion is not fact. I can only comment on what I believe I see. He could be the man. If he turns this game around and turns his time around at Juventus, I'll be the first to say I was wrong and obviously give him his plaudits. It's not an agenda thing, but I just can't see it. I really can't. And just as I was speaking about Weston McKennie, he's come off for Morata. Again, early on, you could see it weren't a game for him. I probably would have taken him off at half time, and that's nothing to do with him. The players need to pull it out because they're not creating, and it was an individual mistake that, two individual lapses of concentration, more so the first one that's put them in this. But the manager, you can't really have all of this at your disposal when you're doing nonsense. If this things was happening, it's crazy, man. And this is it. To be fair, if you give them credit, they've got the best defense. Shout to them, but they've scored the least goals, bro, in the top 6. If that's true, brother, you got Cristiano Ronaldo, you got Dybala, you got Chiesa, you got Bear, you got Kulusevski, you got Bear, man, Dybala, and all these things there. Attacking fullbacks, Morata, like, you shouldn't have that. You shouldn't. If that's in the domestic league, which I can't believe that can never be in the domestic league. That can never be domestically in Italy. If it is, boy, if that is, boy, that's a sackable offense then. Next Zlatan or Ronaldo, I think he's the next Haaland, man. He's his own story. He's nothing like Ronaldo. Yeah, he's a striker, but he's not that. He's his own guy, man. It's his own story. I think he's gonna be a serious player. Well, it's not even I think he is a serious player. It'd be keen to see. Because I think he's developing in the right way. He did his thing in Norway, didn't move straight away. Clearly, at Salzburg, went from there to Salzburg. Went Dortmund, it's a good club. Let's be real. We know eventually they'll sell him. Keen to see how he'll deal with the pressure at a Madrid or whatever, because obviously at some point, we're gonna have to start. Even Mbappe got it now. You have to start judging players to these high standards. Right? We all know he's a young player, and it's all wow right now. Soon, man are gonna expect him to do everything, and that's where you're gonna see what he's really made of psychologically. He looks like a lad that takes everything in his stride. But yeah, man, he's his own man. I don't know, man. I don't think Pirlo rates him or sees him as a tactical fit, fam. Can't lie to you. To be fair, Pirlo needs to. Bro, Pirlo, that's the best thing Pirlo could do in this last 20 odd, 30 odd minutes, 20 odd minutes is dust off his boots, bro. Go and tell Weston McKennie, give me your shin pads and socks and do this thing. Like, simple as that. Shot sailed over from Bentancur, and Porto will make another sub. They're taking off the second goal scorer, Marega. Good finish from him with his left peg, man. Good finish, man. Parallels with one of with different, but once again parallels with one of Mbappe's finishes yesterday. In that you've cute little touch, you trapped the ball and got that shot away very quickly, probably surprising the goalie. Oh, if Chelsea get Haaland, that's a serious W. Porter on the break again. Bruv, Demiral, serious defensive aspect there. You have to respect his thing. Kulusevski gets it forward, but it's a poor pass. And it's lost. It's absolutely lost. Arsenal need to do a lot better in that regards, people. We're doing quite poor in that regards. Juventus go forward and it breaks down again. And this is all Porto are happy to do. They're happy to be on the counter attack with 2 man and go long and just regroup. They're happy with this. They probably didn't expect you to make these stupid mistakes, Juventus, but they've adapted to it. You know, you've handed them something and they've done well. This is a very street smart team. Look at them winning the fouls, and the guy has been brought down, going to the ref. That's this 5th one now. Very good game management from these players, people. And it looks like Otavio came off because he's feeling his hamstring. I mean, his thigh or something. His thigh appears wrapped. You look like you're suffering on this watch-along. Of course, I'm suffering on this watch-along. It's dead. The game's dead, bro. Like, you watching this? A couple interesting moments, but it's dead. This is probably the most boring watch-along I've had to do from a footballing point of view. I rate everybody in the comments. Without you lot, I would have locked this off. You lot have kept me going just by sheerly chatting to man. And don't get it twisted. It's been interesting watching Porto, but I can't believe what I've seen with Juventus. It's a good ball forward from Porto. Hey, if they scored this is play. They deserve this. Oh, and Szczesny's had to pop it over, people. You know, it's a lovely counter-attacking move by Porto. I'm not even going to try and explain to you lot what happened. You lot need to watch the highlights, people, because that was a madness. Finishing-wise, I'd say he's more Ronaldo than Zlatan Ibrahimovic, purely because he's more prolific. And, you know, when you mention goal prolificness and stuff, Ronaldo, that's the guy in it. So I'd say more like Ronaldo in relation to finishing, in relation to scoring goals and being attributed to goals. When you mention Ronaldo, you mention goals, you mention Haaland, you mention goals. I would say that Haaland's a better player than in terms of all-round play, but Zlatan, you know, could hit free. Zlatan had a lot of other qualities away from just scoring goals. I'm not saying Haaland doesn't, but he's, you know, bread and butter is goals, if you get what I'm saying. Does get assists, of course. Porto 2, Juventus 0. 68 minutes on the clock, people. Rabiot in possession. Had a decent game, but there's, you know, I think there's just not been enough in the front positions from Juventus, really and truly. Bentancur does well to keep it alive, gets it to Danilo. Danilo, probably the wrong person for it to fall to, thunders it over. He had a couple of better options to do there, and it's dead. You're right, big man Sam. Put in a good shift for the cause, man. Good shift. Got his little goal as well, little memorabilia, and it could be something decent. You know, big up yourself as well, my guy, man. Bro, I can't, you know, they've regressed, man. They've regressed. And you're right, you know, coaching. And I don't see enough patterns of play and stuff from Juventus. And Pirlo was the guy for all of that sort of stuff. He was a midfield madman, a midfield general. You know, many midfielders that want to be of a quality midfield in terms of distribution of the ball, controlling the game. There's not too many reference points you could look at better than Pirlo. And when I look at it, Pirlo, the player is great. The manager's looking shaky. So why can't you correlate that to your midfield? Like, you know, I always look at the position a manager, if possible, the position a manager played in to criticize. That's why I was so onto Arteta about the midfield, because Arsenal's midfield needed improvement anyways. But you as a midfielder, you know, if I was a manager, I'm a fullback. Not that I don't care about all of the other positions, but, you know, fullback is one area I almost have that sixth sense for, and indirectly you fix it up. Juventus have had another effort there. And they've already revealed the Porto keeper looked shaky. Porto keeper should not have spilt that, really, but he did, and it was a lack of an effort. But you get the point before I started blabbering on about something else. My dude, man. To be fair, both of them got the job based off nothing, really. What did Lampard do? Lampard spent forever talking on Sky Sports, then ended up at Porto. At Derby. Lo and behold, you see at Chelsea, he spends a whole heap of money and he doesn't do no dirt. I do think Bayern Munich is the best team at the moment, but even by their own standards, they've been a bit shaky. But without a doubt, I think collectively they probably are. They're the Champions League holders. They're the world champions and European champions. So you can't, you know, literally they're the best team in the world. They've got it to prove it. So you can't you can't go against them in that regards, people, if that makes sense. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. 19 minutes plus added on left of this game, people. 71 minutes in, 71 minutes in. Porto 2, Juventus 0. It's quite crazy in that regards, people. It's absolutely crazy. You almost cannot believe it. Danilo will take this throw in, people. Can he make something happen? Who knows? Probably not. Because again, the front players or the attacking players, they've been anonymous, but tactically they've been out of the game. It's been clear to see, man. And that comes down to tactics, people. There's no way around that. That is tactics or lack of. And I love Pirlo. I'm sure all of you love Pirlo if you're a real footballing fan, but something needs to pattern. Something needs to pattern. "72 minutes on the clock, people. 72 minutes on the clock, as you can see. I can't lie. I'm seeing all the statistics in relation to the Dortmund game. I'm getting so jealous, people, of you lot watching that. But in this game, in relation to Porto 2, Juventus 0. Porto have just won another corner, people. DG looks broken. DG looks bored, fam. Like, I'm a footballing purist, fam. Like, it's almost 10 o'clock on a Wednesday evening in the Champions League, and I'd rather wish I didn't watch this game. Really and truly. Shout out to Porto. You know, I've got admiration for Porto. They ain't done nothing wrong. You know, they've done their bit to bring the quality here and do what they can. You know, I get the vibe. They want to go through in the Champions League. They want to stand up to be counted. They want to, if you are to go through, you have to take it over our dead body sort of thing. I see a collective game plan and all of those sort of things from their individuals. I don't see that from Juventus. You ain't tested these Porto individuals. I don't know how good these players are. I don't know how good you are, because you defeated yourself switching off in both early stages of either half. You ain't really creating that. And yeah, you had a bunch of corners. You've had possession in their half. As expected, you know, you've had the bulk of possession and been the trendsetters of the game. We ain't done nothing with it. Ronaldo ain't popped off a mad shot. You know, the only chances I've seen in the second half, the keeper had to spill one, and now it looks like the keeper's a bit shaky. You know, John, I spoke about that earlier. I have heard Henry to Bournemouth. You know, good on Henry. And if it is true and confirmed, congratulations to him when that is happening. Ronaldo just rips. Oh, I did think that was a foul. Ronaldo just ripped someone. He brought back the years there with a little shimmy and a little nutmeg. But now Porto are on the counter attack, people. 73 minutes in, Szczesny will collect it. Sergio didn't test him enough. I did think Ronaldo should have had a corner, had a free kick there. Apologies, people. But this is why you play to the whistle. And there's no real tempo ultimately as well. What I was saying earlier, amongst other things, people, there's no real tempo from Juventus. Like, there's no tempo here. Like, I don't get the verb. I get the vibe that you're thinking, cool, let's take it to the Turin. Let's take it to the second leg. I don't see let's get an away goal sort of thing. We've got to give DG huge credit here for watching this game. Come on, man. A promise is a promise. If I told you, look, Watchalong business is Watchalong business. And speaking of that, there's no information out yet, but make sure you're aware, people. Arsenal versus Benfica tomorrow. I think it's 8 o'clock kickoff, so 7:30. Watchalong business. Morata sent someone shop. Good defending from Mbemba. You would have thought that was a foul. Ref, that car. How can that not be a free kick? You know, Morata's yanking him to the ground. I think it's a corner. You know, if that's Mbemba pulling Morata like that and doing all of those sort of things, it's a penalty. And he stepped on his foot as well. He said it's nothing, but how could that not be a free kick? I'd be absolutely livid if Juventus go and score from a corner for this if I was Porto. That's corruption at its finest, man. Another poor corner from Juventus, and their keeper's collected. And it looks like Pepe's getting into beef. I think someone's inadvertently stepped on the Porto goalkeeper, and Pepe's not taking a shine to it at all and absolutely gone ballistic. He's been quite calm today. I haven't even seen him bowl now. Oh, he didn't step on it. There was no stepping. He's just boning out for some reason. Pepe's just boning out. And to be fair, Demiral's not scared of you, bro. He's not scared of you. Pepe thinks he's lashed out at him and hit him and things like that. He's capping because he hasn't done it. He's tried to win the ball. I can't lie, Pepe. I don't know what's up with Pepe there. I don't know. That's the first bit of madness you see. That's how you know it's been a boring day. I ain't even said a word about Pepe in defense, people. Maybe he's tried to get a man sent off. And I think this is where you see the experience of the Porto players, people, because they're time wasting when they can and whatnot. Does look like the Juventus players are a bit too friendly with the Porto ones. I can't lie in these little highlights. Football every day, people. We've got Champions League. We had Champions League yesterday. We had football on Monday. We've got Europa League tomorrow. You've got Wolves versus Leeds on Friday. There's football. Obviously, Saturday, Sunday, there's games. 76 minutes in, Kulusevski off, former Arsenal player Aaron Ramsey on. Ramsey in possession keeps it moving. You know, Ramsey's the sort of player that the first sort of thing you should do. He looks like someone that can get a goal. I do think Ramsey lacks what a lot of these Juventus players is fundamentals in being a technically sound footballer. I don't think, not that Ramsey isn't, I think in comparison to these lot, but he does make runs. He can get you a goal. Cristiano Ronaldo's been in some positions he cannot threaten, but he's picked out a lovely pass for Morata. Morata's done all he can and forced the corner. It did look like it was offside, but play continued, people. You know, 76 minutes played. We're getting into the latter stages, man. Chelsea Atletico next week. What games are next week? What Champions League games are next week? I might. And to be fair, Pepe does have a gash on his face, you know. He might have been caught by someone or something inadvertently, apologies. He does have one nasty little gash on his face, people. What games are next week? Oh, you've got Atletico, Chelsea, Lazio versus Bayern, Atlanta versus Madrid, Gladbach versus City. Ooh, why not? Probably Atletico, Chelsea could run still. That could be something that's done still. Why not? And then we'll see and then in relation to Champions League watch-alongs, we'll next see them again in March. Please make sure you're hitting the like button while we're on that topic as well, people. It doesn't cost a thing. Tomorrow, 12 p.m., Deluded and Curtis Shaw on my channel. Make sure you're there, man. Make sure you're there. 78 minutes, people. Quickly getting towards the end of this game. Mahrez has scored for Manchester City. I see some of you lot saying. I actually forgot about that game and turned it off. So I'll have to watch that, catch that on the rebound. To be fair with you, it will be on Amazon Prime. DG podcast on Friday. Man said, what's the Porto score? Is 2-0. FC Porto 2, Juventus 0. 78 minutes on the clock, man. I do think people overlook games he does nothing, but I mean, come on. If you ask me, do I actually rate Martinelli? Come on now. Like, have you been really watching my videos? God, that's as close as I'm going to answer that question, man. Pirlo looks stressed, people. Pirlo looks stressed. Porto have another dangerous set piece delivery, people, on the agenda in a dangerous position. Not good enough, though, and it sells over. And yeah, man, you're right. The league is most likely done with Mahrez and whatnot, man. It's not over to the fat lady sings, but, you know, it doesn't look like anyone can catch them. They're running away with it. They cannot be stopped, people. It's as simple as that. 127 likes. Can we get that to 130, people? Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Big up the 81 of you concurrent viewers. You lot are some real G's. Moving forward, you know, big up City for winning. You know, shout out to you lot that are watching all the other games. Corner from Porto. Oh, and didn't get enough quality on the header, but he gets more quality on the header. He goes in. Ain't that the lad what's that lad that was on loan at I swear he was in Germany for a couple of years and now he's at Porto, man. Is it Grich or something? Liverpool fans will know about him, the midfielder. He knew he looked familiar. Didn't know he's at Porto. When did you go there? Good move, man. Champions League football. Do you think there's something in Williams' contract about having him to play some of the game? Yes, I do. Maybe not that per se, but I do. Shout out Mahrez for scoring a banger. But I do. There is some sort of sanction. I have to only concede, my guy, that there's some financial sanction that proves more costly for not involving him in a game in any capacity than involving him. That's why he comes on the field. That's a common thing in football as well, man. Really and truly. I definitely think Juventus will pattern this at the Turin. Ronaldo will do one of those moments we'll talk about in 20 years and be part of the Ronaldo story as to why he's a baller. But right now it's peak. For me, I'd be even annoyed if I was Pirlo that you can't. You're telling me you can't run away with an away goal here. You can't grab an away goal. Come on, Tariq, man. You know the baller would be an elite fit at Arsenal. Would Arsenal be an elite fit for the baller? Be the question. Atletico versus City, definitely. I don't think you can rule out Chelsea. You know, Tuchel might do a thing. Juventus's task is going to be made tougher in their next game if Cuadrado doesn't play, because Danilo, due to picking up another yellow, will miss the next game. Into the last 9 minutes, people, assuming there's no added on time. And you can see the baller there, Vex. No, not used in any capacity. Vex, you need to go. You're not bringing Donny on. And these are the sort of things that happen. Arsenal will end up paying that 1 million, but you get it. That's what happens. It's a common thing when people go on loan as well. It gets to a point people don't use the loan signings because they turn up being expensive. Or you more see at the lower leagues, a guy might be due a certain amount of P's, they'll rub him out. 81 minutes on the clock. Rabiot's put a decent ball in. Juventus finally get a goal, people. It's a fantastic ball in and it's a fantastic finish, and they get that away goal. Chiesa and Rabiot, two of the better players on the field today for Juventus. Chiesa's quality hasn't been there, but he's never stopped going. Rabiot's done what he can, and they've got something. That's one positive to take home. It's a good bit of play. It's all Rabiot and Chiesa. You know, other people are involved, but it's a good ball from Rabiot. It's a very good finish from Chiesa. You know, he has to break his stride a bit, sort his footing out, just guides it back in the same direction the ball is coming, guides it into the far post, keeper's rooted, and that's the clean sheet broken, people. And that gives them a glimmer of hope. And suddenly the tie is back with Juventus. You know, if you go 1-0 up at the Turin, it's all yours. Saying that, Porto have scored 2 goals. They've proven that if you switch off, they will score. I would say they haven't really created anything of like that. The goals weren't really created. The second goal was, to be fair, but you get the point. And you can never switch off. That changes the tie a bit. That gives Pirlo something to be happy about. But again, they're making a tie harder than it needs to be. And again, Porto have lost the ball in a silly position. And now Juventus are on the counter-attack. It's a lovely ball. Oh, Marat should be scoring. Ronaldo loses his footing. Juventus have to score that. Porto lost the ball. Their left back lost the ball, and it almost proved costly. And all Porto do is try and find balls over the top, and it's not happening. It's just going straight back and back and back. Szczesny this time comes darting off his line, people. He's done. To be honest, should have played Cuadrado, I feel, you know. Should have played Cuadrado. It's an attacking game. I think they should have went with Dybala or Ramsey and Cuadrado. It's more of an attacking game, which again, you can't really read what Pirlo's on tactically. But Porto have caught life there. It seems like there's been a goal in the Seville game. I assume it's 3-2. Big up my correspondent, Hamza. It is 3-2. De Jong has scored in the 84th minute. 3-2 in the Porto versus Seville game. In the Seville versus Dortmund game. Dortmund 3, Seville 2, Porto 2, Juventus 1. Cristiano Ronaldo, decent ball into the box. Probably no one attacking it. Like, nobody guessing. What a miss, bro. Trust me. What a miss, Don One. What a miss, fam. That could be proven costly. Just who you kind of want it to fall to, Marat. He has a knack of scoring these important goals. I do think there's a goal in this game, you know. I do think there's a next goal. Look, Ronaldo's vexed. To be fair, I'd be vexed if I was Ronaldo, because no one's been creating for you. Ronaldo's been doing the one doing that stuff. Rabiot loses out. Ramsey, to be fair, Ramsey's been quite quiet since he's come on. And now, you know, it's all about can Juventus finish strong? If you finish strong, you grab a next goal in these last 6 minutes. This whole tie is suddenly turned on its head, people. Suddenly flipped on its head. Five minutes left, and I'm pretty sure there'll be at least 2 minutes of extra time. The old lady has finally woken up. You're right, man. Didn't expect so many goals. Well, in the Juventus game, I'd say this is about right. I just expected something like 3-1, 2-1 Juventus. Saying that Porto lad loses his footing, and it will be a corner for Porto. Juventus need to remain switched on. It's the guy who just come on with this Luis Diaz brother. Had a good chance there. You know, it's good defending from Deluded, really, to get close and just put him off. And then Ronaldo to just kick it out for a corner. What's the score? Is Porto 2, Juventus 1, Cabby. Porto 2, Juventus 1. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. 132 likes. Can we get that to 140? I know there's 8 of you who haven't hit that like button. Come on, man. Hit the like button, man. Aaron Ramsey, poor pass from Ramsey. It means Juventus can't break with the quality and the precision. And with 4 minutes left, you need to stop doing that. And players back here with Porto. It's on the left-hand side with Sergio, who's put himself about a lot today. Been in the scraps for Porto. Poor delivery from him, and he's being pursued by Bentancur, who's done very well considering he's by himself defending against 2 men. Fundamentally, all that will be remembered is his costly error, but he's doing what he can. "86 minutes on the clock, people. We're getting into the dying embers of the game, as you can see. Sergio, it will be another foul for Porto. Demiral has finally got a yellow card. They've been on a key to get this guy booked. I can't lie to you. I don't think that's a, come on, man. That's a booking. The rest acting. They've both gone up for a header. Yeah, he's got a bit of arms, but there's no malice. He's got eyes on the ball. Come on, man. Come on. The game's gone mad. The yellow card for that's a mazza, personally. And I've seen a lot worse in this game and in general across Europe and been unpunished. I'm not sure Porto will care, and Porto will take it quickly and do a short one, to be fair. Sergio then decides to lift it into the box. It's dealt with superbly by Juventus, but it's still alive on the edge of the area with Porto. Porto have lost the ball now. Delit's been first to it, and he'll just get it down the line. Saying that, it's gone to nobody. Score prediction for tomorrow, I'm going to say 2-0 Arsenal, man. Obviously, don't make me look stupid now, Arsenal. Please, don't make me look stupid. Come on, my guy, Jet, man. We've got nothing else in life but consistency and hard work, so we keep going, man. Big man Sam said, hot take / question. Should have got Ray goals really count in aggregate these next few years if there's no fans in? I just don't think they should be there, full stop. It doesn't make sense. It don't make sense. You know, if I'm Juventus, I'm laughing because technically we can say it's all Porto, it's all doom and gloom, but it's 2-2 right now. It's 2-2. And then if Juventus go and score at their place, they go through because they've scored one away from home. Like, just, you say, it don't make no sense to me personally, but it is what it is, you know. Like I said at the start of this, when Arsenal benefit from it, it's my best friend. It can be luxury. I can't lie in Football Manager. When we go ahead against bigger teams, I love it. When we're chasing it, I hate it. You know, so I don't think it should be a thing. I don't think it should be a thing. I understand why it was brought in. I assume it enticed people to have more of a go and not just sit back. But it's not working, man. It's really not working. Whatever it is, it's just not working. 89 minutes on the clock, people. 89 minutes on the clock, assuming there is no added on time. Juventus 1, Porto 2. Porto 2, Juventus 1. Can go anyway, man. Dom Warner said, come on, Arsenal, don't do me dirty tomorrow. You and me both, my guy, but I'm going to focus on that tomorrow, man. You'll see the build-up. You know, I hope you're all checking out the preview I did, the last live stream I did, the preview I've got with Rabona TV. All of that stuff is out now. I hope you've all made a mental note of the DG podcast, people. That comes out on Friday. That's Arsenal content as well as neutral content. That's on Spotify, Apple, and for you cheapskates, Anchor. Hope you all know tomorrow is Arsenal's watch-along. Hope you guys all know I'll be there on Sunday to do a watch-along for Arsenal City. The work rate is crazy, I know. Please make sure you're there. 12 p.m. tomorrow. Well, me and Curtis Shaw will be talking about Arsenal and previewing the game over on my channel. So write these things down. Make sure you're checking out the description and following me across all my socials. If you're not going to follow me across any socials or you're limiting them, make sure you do Clubhouse and make sure you do Instagram, man. Man said, should there even be two legs? One knockout game was amazing last season. It's true. I do think that's something you could look at, but I don't mind 2 legs, to be fair with you. I don't mind 2 legs. And to be fair, you know, you hope the game yesterday, PSG versus Barca, that the second leg could be like that, man. But who knows, man? Definitely with this corrupt UEFA, I think you need 2 legs, to be fair with you, for your team. Twitter handle Deluded Gooner 04 cabby, man. Everything's Deluded Gooner 04. Snapchat D Gooner 04. There's 4 minutes of added on time, people. There's 4 minutes of added on time, as expected, people. There's 4 minutes of added on time. Porto 2, Juventus 1, people. It's now or never for Juventus. Something tells me there's a next goal in this. I told you lot, people, Porto was going to do something. Go back to the start of this live stream. I told you lot, people, Porto were going to do something dodgy today. I had a feeling. Should have slapped a tenner on that. Just because, I used to bet a lot of money on bookies. I win and lose, and we stopped all of that, man. It was mad. Stop doing accumulators. You know, stop doing accumulators if you're out there as well, man. It's all right, bro. It's all right, broski. It's all right, man. I understand. When you're on the phone, it must be a mazza. Must be a mazza. So, yeah, man. Deluded Gooner 0-4. Bro, to be fair, Porto are looking shaky. I do back Juventus to pattern this up completely in the second leg, but it shouldn't get to that point. And I just think it further confirms Porto. I don't think Pirlo's the guy. I want to be wrong. Who doesn't want Pirlo to be a success? But he's not looking like he can do better than what Allegri and these guys did. And saying that did look like the last man. Alex Sandro's had to take a yellow card. Is that his second? Is that his second? No, it's not. It's his first. Took a yellow card, and that, if he didn't, it's 3-1 there. I thought that should have been a red as well. I should have thought that would have been a red as well, but he must have not been last man there. Can't have been last man. Mehdi sold him. He can't have been last man. That's the only reason he's still on. City have 3. City have 3. I know it was 2-1 courtesy of Mahrez. I don't know for anybody else. Last year was less foot on, but for some reason, all the TV providers putting their prices up. Madness, especially during a year like this. Scumbags, broski. Scumbags. But they've got to get their money somehow. And sadly, the consumer's always going to pick up the bill. It's like the government. They'll run this country a mockery, and it's the taxpayer who will pick it up. Free kick from Porto. Really? I'd be quite angry if I was Porto there. I think somebody could have met that head on and done something there. Rabiot should have earned a foul. He's earned a smart free kick for for Juventus. Porto kicking the ball away, risking a yellow card. You can see why they do that. I think Pepe could have made more of a meal of that, and maybe the ball could have had a bit more in there. Bruv, electric going up, every backside thing going up. So things are going up apart from wages. What does this tell you beyond the obvious? Recession. Stagnant wages, stagnant and declining wages, increased living costs and inflation, and weaker job prospects. Doesn't make sense. If your bills are getting more expensive and your pounds aren't stretching, economy's fucked, isn't it? Pardon my language. But I'm no economist, and this is a football channel. I think you lot probably think I got more sides to me than just talking about football, innit? Bro, Bernardo's a baller, man. And you just want to see that consistency come out from Bernardo, because I think he's got the potential to be the best in the league, personally. I thought that was a penalty as well. Penalty shouts waved away, and it looks like the 4 minutes are done. On the dot, 4 minutes done, people. I didn't think you could just dead off the game like that, where there's a chance there. Well, it is what it is, man. Kevin De Bruyne. We just have to see that Kevin De Bruyne isn't fully fit and we're able to do a thing. Just a fan has said, Deluded, great work, always with the hard work. You're an inspiration to everyone out there. Stay humble, not negativity. I appreciate your kind words, man. I appreciate your kind words, and keep progressing, innit? And I can assure you, I'll always remain humble, because, the quicker you get something, you can lose it even quicker than that, people. But what can I see there, people? There should have been... is that a penalty? I don't think it is. I thought it was first time. Around. Ronaldo's chopped it, and I think Ronaldo's lost his footing. And Ronaldo's going absolutely crazy at the referee. You just have to take it, think about what your team did wrong, and go to the next game at the Emirates. I mean, man said at the Emirates. I'm so used to Arsenal. And go through to the next game at the Old Lady, people. Good job from Porto. Let themselves down for that goal conceded. Did a great job, man. Credit to their gaffer. Credit to the boys. Porto 2, Juventus 1. And that's it there, man. That's it there. But on that note, I'm not going to waste any more time, people. If you want, tomorrow, like I said, Arsenal versus Benfica, Benfica versus Arsenal, Watchalong business. We kick off at 8 p.m, so I'll be back at 7:30. Make sure you're there. I'll be back at 12 p.m. on my channel, 12 p.m. UK time with Curtis, and there'll be a bag of content. And I've previewed the Benfica game, so that's up there now. So if you haven't had enough of DG, you got more content there. But on that note, I'm going to get out of here, man. People, DG, hit the comment, hit the like button as you leave. In your bottom corner, you should see a subscribe button. Make sure you hit that. Yeah, man. Thank you very much for turning up and stuff like that. Please make sure you stay in good spirits, and I'll see you lot again soon, man. I'm out, man. I'm out.